All right, guys. So we have the Gwen release. Now the only issue right now is that seasonals is beginning in roughly 35 minutes. So this is going to be a quick one. Hopefully I can run through this, upload the video for you guys. Those of you who are not watching seasonals, by the time this video will be up, I will be streaming seasonals live over on my Twitch channel. So be sure to tune into that. The link will be down below in the description. But Gwen, everybody, Gwen. Art, fantastic, phenomenal art so far. Okay. Okay. Gwen, 4 mana, 3/4 quick attack, hollowed. When another ally gains power from hollowed, so do I. Drain 2. Oh my god. She already drains 2. Okay. After I die, for the rest of the game, when allies attack, hollow your first attacker, giving it +1/+0 that round. Wait. After I die, for the rest of the game, when allies attack, hollow your first attacker. I'm assuming this is like some sort of chain reaction. So when a hollowed unit dies, the next hollowed unit has 1 extra attack.
Need my tools.
Gwen herself, Shadow Isles deal 10 damage, drain, and quick attack. So like 2 swings, right? 2 swings. If she gets hollowed, and it's like 4, 6. But it's just that round. Okay, so it's a little bit difficult level on like a swing and a block, but I'm sure it's possible.
There she is, our guest of honor.
I've never been the guest of honor.
Okay, so this hollowed unit's gonna die, which means that the next first unit attacking with hollowed gains +1 attack. Oh, what is that card?
To their resolve, mine will be stronger.
Okay.
What a lovely lilting melody.
Oh.
Allow me to assist you.
Interesting.
Very good.
Wait, but all hollow? Okay.
Ever hear about the bad man who tried to catch the doll? He missed.
I do this for her, for us.
You are far too selfish for love, Diego.
Dear lady, would you honor
Of course,
me with a
Rapath.
dance?
Rapath, of course.
Nobody's ever asked
Of course,
me
who
before.
wouldn't be running Rapath?
This is a chance for me to leave my mark. One stitch at a time, we'll make something totally new.
When another ally gains, so do I. Oh, I see. So do that's why both units got buffed. But drain 1 for every enemy. Drain 1 from the enemy nexus 1 time for every 2 power I have. That's basically the same thing unless she's buffed. Interesting. But now, like, because 3 hollowed units have died, Gwen should gain 3 attack next round.
This tune, it reminds me of home.
So all of these should gain... What? That animation is so sick. I don't understand what just happened, but that animation was sick.
Go ahead, scare me.
Nothing to fear.
Refreshment. I see the entertainment has arrived.
Oh, after you. Both of you.
Tell an ally to do something.
Just a stitch in time. What a magical place. Time moves
So what did
quickly
Lucian
here.
gain?
Did you see that? I did that. Me.
But these didn't.
Every moment of this has been a joy.
There's a lot of interesting things going on. The spell that was just shown, kill an ally, deal damage equal to its power to an enemy. At fast speed. Holy. That's so interesting. Because that's like when you atrocity your unit into like an opponent unit, right? But it's 3 mana? Wow, that's insane. I think this card is nuts. Now, the downside to this card is like if you want to like play it in like a traditional control deck, it's not really the same as Crumble, even though it is faster, or just 1 mana cheaper and it is fast. You just don't have the units with like the stat line to do so. So I don't see this card being ran in like some traditional like Field Rush, for example. Although you could with like Trundle and like Ledros and other big units, it just doesn't seem like that worth. But this card's pretty interesting, at least in this deck where you have like at least decently sized units. Gwen herself is interesting. I'm still not unsure. I'm still a little bit unsure about the hollow keyword. It looks like hollow buffs all allies attacking. I have to reread that one more time. But Ghostly Band summons 2, this hollow thing. Hollow, Lifesteal, Hollow Fearsome. Formal Invitation, create copies in hand of 2 allied followers that have died this game. So Stalking Shadows, but like more built around your deck and you're not drawing. It's interesting. Eternal Dancers, 6 mana, hollowed, attack, revive, and attacking ephemeral copy of the strongest dead ally other than Eternal Dancers with my power or less. That's copy of the strongest dead ally. So it can bring back champions, and you can buff Eternal Dancers to bring back a stronger unit, which is interesting. What does this remind you of? It's like Callista but conditional, right? You don't need the level up, but you do need to have this having higher power than the strongest dead ally. And then 2 unhollowed. So I mean, this like archetype as a whole seems relatively like tempo slash mid-range slash combo-y. I think from what we've seen, Gwen does want like these sort of like, oh, you can't see Bolsterous Host, but it's a 1 mana 2 unhollowed. Sorry about the face cam thing. I'll have to figure out a better way to like position it. Or I'll link all the new cards down below in the description as well, so feel free to check that out. But from what we've seen so far, Gwen is definitely a little bit more tempo focused, and it does, you know, benefit from having the rallies because this hollowed keyword is only for the round. And so if you can rally a couple times to boost, you know, Gwen's power level, her like leveled up ability really benefits off of that, right? So hollowed, after I die for the rest of the game, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Your first attacker giving it, I see. So this hollowed is like it's like a snowball, right? It's a snowball. When you have hollowed units die, all of a sudden you're buffing the first unit by +1. So let's say 5 hollowed units have died. The next time on the first attacker gains +5/+0, and of course Gwen gains that as well, which is really insane because now all of a sudden you can like use it with like overwhelm units. You can give Gwen overwhelm, and then you can like rally. Now I don't, you can't like, it's a lot hard to rally and overwhelm and then also be in Shadow Isles, but this like sort of like snowball effect is really interesting. Now for the hollowed units themselves, they don't really have like phenomenal keywords that like really get through besides fearsome. So you have to like, I feel like you might want to synergize a little bit more with like either like elusives or overwhelm units to really get value out of it besides Gwen herself. We saw the Lucian thing. The Lucian was pretty interesting, but Lucian SI always has the issue of not being able to protect their units very well. It's really interesting. This like sort of like it feels aggressive. It definitely feels aggressive. And it feels very similar to like how the Lucian Hecarim deck worked. Gwen just seems to have like Gwen obviously comes down earlier. She has a drain mechanic, which is really interesting as well, and has a less reliance on ephemeral units completely. Because like any hollowed unit can die, right? Like you can just play Bolsterous Host, the 1 mana 2/1, and if that dies, you know, that's gonna continue it forward. Obviously, being an SI, this whole hollowed plus self-sacrifice sort of mechanic seems to synergize quite well. I don't know. This feels... I'm not sure how to evaluate this. There's probably some like degenerate combo things you could do just simply off the fact that hollowed can like snowball onto like a spell shield ephemeral or spell shield elusive, spell shield overwhelm unit, spell shield double attack, or whatever it may be. It feels sort of like chimes in a sense. Like say you just play Shadow Isles Battle City with Papercraft, and then how do you give it overwhelm? That might be an issue. Or do you have an elusive unit you could play? there's a lot of interesting like things. I think there's a lot of degenerate things you could do with just hollowed units and not necessarily need Gwen. But Gwen seems, you know, it's hard to pass out on like a free second hollowed activation. Now the issue with hollowed is it only grants that power to the first attacking unit, so it is technically a lot more all in if you don't have Gwen, which like fails like vengeance and things like that. So it's very interesting. But you saw like Gwen when like Gwen like look at that 16 that deals 8 drain already. Like that's insane. Like there's some really big burn potential with Gwen, assuming you can set her up correctly and like have rallies potentially. But it's very interesting. Like technically Gwen could OTK your opponent because like you level Gwen, you have like I don't know 36 hollowed units who have died, and then Gwen goes to 40 attack and deals 20, and your opponent can't heal from that. That could be an interesting deck. Just the Gwen OTK from 20. How do you get 40 hollowed units dead? Might be very, very difficult given your relative small pool of actual hollowed units. But just throwing out random ideas, I guess. Gwen seems interesting. Just seems like a different flavor of Hecarim. But I don't know, because like I feel like it puts in when they showed like, you know, the Lucian Gwen definitely plays in a very similar vein as like a Lucian Hecarim deck, or like Hecarim or like Gwen Rally, whatever it may be. But the hollowed mechanic does give leeway to a little bit more cheese slash OTK style of decks instead. So definitely very interesting to see where Gwen leads off, but I think just by power level she seems slightly weaker to me than Kai'Sa so far. But I'll be curious to see what comes out of this for sure. And I'll just check really quickly if there have been any other new cards besides just the Gwen cards. Oh, they aren't out here yet. Any other? I think that's all that have been shown. I think we have seasonals in like a couple minutes. So I'm going to wrap the video up here. Let me guys know what you guys think of Gwen herself. She's mechanically interesting, but not the most exciting so far to me. So maybe you guys have some other different ideas that you think Gwen would synergize really well in. Let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to catch me playing seasonals, also live over at my Twitch channel, so check it out. But otherwise, have a lovely weekend, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out, guys. Take care.